Hi everyone, my name is Hannah Haza. I'm one of the authors of the SmartClass content here at Robotel. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about what different types of activities are possible with our SmartClass hub. So when I was a teacher, I was always trying to find new activities, trying to think about all the different learners that I had in the class. I had a couple of hands-on learners, some that were more auditory, others that were more visual learners. So I always found it hard to find activities that would engage everyone and kind of like motivate everyone to use the foreign language, in my case, German, that they were learning. So what I really love about our SmartClass Hub is that we have 19 different activity templates, and they are all specifically designed for language teaching. I know that a couple of other platforms that I had used, the activities were kind of like somewhat of a multiple choice or fill in the blank, or then like an open text kind of format. So I was really happy when I found out that here we have 19 different templates to choose from, and that they are designed for language learning, and that there's a heavy focus on speaking and listening activities. So let's take a closer look at the different activities that are possible. First of all, they're simple viewing activities. Those are great activities when you want your students to kind of like look at a vocabulary chart or maybe some grammar, anything that just basically requires or like replaces the book that they would look at and read something. But you don't want them to do anything with it. It's also really nice, especially during these times of like synchronous, asynchronous learning, maybe some hybrid or virtual learning that's going on right now, to have them look at their weekly schedule. So like posting a simple schedule of like, okay, Monday, I want you to work on activity, this, and that. And Tuesday, I want you to do that. Wednesday, I want you to do that. So all of those are great examples of a simple viewing activity where students just have to look at something. The next option we have are writing activities. And there are two different options. One is an open text format. The other one is a question and answer. The open text format is great when you just want them to like kind of like write freely about something. And what I really love about this is that you can have two stimuli. It doesn't just have to be a picture that they write about or a video that they write about. It could be two different things that they are writing about. They can look at a picture and still have an audio track that they are listening to, and then they have to write about something, summarizing it, paraphrasing, in their own words, or answering some kind of like pen pal, email, letter, or whatnot. Question and answer, on the other hand, like the name says, is a question and answer. So you'll have different questions, so you can kind of like split it up a little bit more, other than having an open text where they just kind of like write freely. Can be something about comprehension, such as giving them something to watch or listen to or read, and then answer comprehension questions. Or it could be some grammar concept. In this activity here, you see, based on the picture, they have to look at the picture, then look at the sentence in the question that is written, and then decide if that is true or false. And if it is wrong, they have to retype the sentence correctly. So lots of different steps that are involved here, not just a simple, okay, answer these questions in full sentences. Next up are our speaking activities. Our speaking activities, for that we have 3 templates that are audio only, and then 2 templates that also include video from the student's perspective. Remember, you can always have different stimuli to create any of these activities in our hub. The first audio only activity, where students just speak, is a segmented recording. This is one of my favorite activities because I can, as a teacher, use any audio file that I have already, or I can quick record an audio file in the hub. And then when I'm creating the activity, I decide where I put the pauses for the students to answer. So I don't have to worry about that when I'm recording the audio, or the audios that I have already, kind of like playing around with it and inserting pauses in between. I can do that directly in the hub, and that gives students the opportunity to answer, and then answer as long as they need to. So we have a button there that says variable length responses, and that means students can answer as long as they want to, and then they click done to move on to the next question. The segmented recordings are really great for question answer kind of activities, so they have to listen and then respond, listen and then respond. Kind of like making it more like a real conversation in like a real life practice. Also wonderful for listen and repeat, like practice and vocabulary. As long as the pauses after are about 3 seconds long, students can listen to the pronunciation of a word or sentence and then repeat it. Listen to the next one and repeat it. So you can have all your chapter vocabulary in one file that can easily be repeated for students. And that does mean that you don't have to be there and help them with pronunciation all the time in the classroom, but they have a chance to really practice this at home and become confident in their speaking. Another one of our speaking activities is an open recording. Open recording, kind of like the open text, means it's a long recording. Students can speak freely about something. There are no pauses. They decide when they're done with it. They can pause the recording in between when they need time to rethink it. And they can also erase the recording, either the complete recording or parts of the recording from a certain position onwards when they want to fix something. So that really gives students a chance of becoming more involved in their learning and giving them a chance to really practice and rethink and listen to themselves, because otherwise, how would you ever have them listen to themselves in a classroom? That's not possible. But here they have a chance to listen to it, and then if they have mistakes that they want to correct, this is their chance to re-record it. A couple of favorite activities that are possible with our open recording are respond, like look at questions, look at prompts, and then say something about it. Tell a story about like different photographs that you have in there, for example. It could be a pronunciation paragraph. It could be a translation where they see or hear something and then they have to translate it. In this example here, we have a text that they have to read. Then they have the questions there, and then they have to record themselves answering these questions. So like we have some visual, we have some auditory, we have a good mix of different stimuli for the students to really become engaged. And then our last audio only activity is a continuous recording. Great for vocabulary pronunciation. If you don't want to do it in a segmented recording, you can leave the pauses in here in your recording that you upload, your audio file. It could be a question answer, similar to the segmented recording, but here again, you have to remember that you put the pauses in, which is great because that will really put the students under some kind of pressure and give them even more of a real life situation, because even in a real conversation with a native speaker, they won't have the chance to re-listen to the question or have as long as they need to answer. No, there will be follow-ups and questions and this and that. So this continuous recording is a great way to do that. It's also great for AP practice, leaving only 20 seconds because that's what they will have in a real AP test. Or in this example, talking over a video. So I like uploading videos without audio files, and then the students have to kind of like talk about the video. I can give them a certain tense that I want them to use, certain words I want to hear, or otherwise they just have to say what is happening in the video, kind of like be a commentator for like a sports event or for a cooking show or whatever it might be that you're working on right now. Then we're moving into the speaking activities that have a video recording of it. So not only will you hear the audio of your students talking, but you will also see them. So this is great for like presentations, like they have a prompt or something and they talk about like their poster, or getting to know you, like they show you their house, for example, especially during these virtual learning times. It might be a nice way for you to get to know your students a little bit better. Leaving a video message, but it could also be something like look at something and then talk about it. But you can really see like how your students are forming words. You can really see them, how they do it. And these activities are also great for sign language practice. You can also have a mock Skype conversation in, for example, a video in a continuous recording activity. So lots and lots of possibilities. The next activities I want to talk about are our pronunciation activities. So we have artificial intelligence that is able to do text-to-speech and speech-to-text. We offer 18 different languages that are supported in our hub. And amongst those languages, we have Arabic, Chinese, English, and Spanish that have multiple variations. So you can select the dialect that you want your students to be listening to right in that activity. Here in this example, you see one of our Let's Talk English flashcard activities. So we created simple flashcards with pictures and then the vocabulary words. And then on the right side, we put simple sentences. So these are just sentences that you type as a teacher or that come with our SmartClass content preloaded in the hub if you'd like. And your students are able to listen to these. You can have a definition. There's a little definition button. And on that definition button, you as the teacher can put in the translation. So it can be a real flashcard. Students then listen to the word or the sentence being said by the artificial intelligence. Then they hit click and talk. And I did an example here already where I clicked and recorded myself saying the sentence, "This bakery makes the best desserts." And as you can see, I did it right. I had to practice a couple of times, but I got 100%. So when you don't get it right, you can compare what the original sentence was and what the AI typed out for you when you said it and practice as long as you want to. Excuse me. Next are our auto-graded activities. I love those activities because once they're in there, you don't have to grade them again unless you want to overwrite the system or make sure that a student got everything right from your own perspective. But within those auto-graded activities, you have the typical multiple choice, which are great for like grammar concepts, choose the correct verb or adjective ending. It's great for comprehension, whether they listen to something, whether they watch a video, or they can have something where they have to choose the best answer. They have to have a true false, where they select is the sentence, statement, question, true or false. Vocabulary practice, what do you see? So many, many possibilities with multiple choice. Fill in the blank, I love doing those as dictation. So like listen to a paragraph or sentences and then they have to type what they hear. Great vocabulary practice. But you can also use it for grammar where they have to fill in one word or a couple of words or endings, where they have to work with tenses. Let's say they read a paragraph and then they have to retype the entire paragraph, changing verb tenses. What's missing? Great with music or lyrics, like listen to this and which word is missing here. What do you see? Again, look at an image and answer questions. A vocabulary story, put a picture in place of the vocabulary word that's in the PDF. So many, many possibilities for fill in the blank activities. Next up is text match. Here, like it says, you match text to one another. So like you might have a sentence starter and then the end of the sentence, and they have to match which sentence goes where to complete a full sentence. Could be a question too. It could be a question answer, like look at the question here and then match the right answer with it. Could be a vocabulary practice where you have the English word or whatever foreign language you might have, and then they have to match the correct translation in their native language. Could be a listen, match the accurate information to the person that mentions it. So like you can have multiple people talk about something, and then you say person A, person B, person C, who says what in a listening or a video. Image match, kind of similar, but this time you're working with images, which is great for your visual learners. Vocabulary words match images with the correct vocabulary word. Descriptions, like which sentence that they hear describes the picture that you see, and so forth. Our category matches are a great activity for like kind of like filling in charts or matching what someone says in a video. You can have a fill in the blanks one, so you have to put the information in the chart, whatever you can see. It can be grammar, working with different grammar topics, like which words or verbs are irregular, which ones are regular, tenses, what is the past tense form of this verb. It could be categories, putting words into categories based upon a common idea, or putting words or ideas into a column of what someone says in an audio or a video file. And then we have, lastly, our 3 different jumbles. The sentence jumble is where students jumble sentences and put them in the right order, either according to a conversation. It could be a recipe. It could be something like in this case here where they have to read a text and they have to select the titles that they think each paragraph should have. It could be a comprehension thing, like putting events into an order based on what you hear or read, and so forth. And then the word jumble and the letter jumble. The word jumble is great to work on sentence structure. You have to either do a sentence, a question, and an imperative. You can leave out the punctuation so that it doesn't give away which word comes at the end of the sentence. You could not capitalize the beginning of the sentence for your advanced learners, and so they don't know which word the sentence starts with. And then letter jumble is great for vocabulary practice and spelling practice. So there they see all the letters jumbled and they have to put them in the right order to make words, sorry. And then as a little summary, so here at Robotel, we have our SmartClass Hub, which is our digital language teaching platform. And you can use all of these activity templates to create your own materials in our hub. They're all available for you, and you can use your own ideas, materials, audio files, whatever you might have already. Or you can also choose to have our hub with preloaded activities. For English, we have an entire curriculum from A1 to B1, so from beginners to advanced learners. It's called Let's Talk English. And then we also have a supplemental curriculum for German and Spanish. Here, our beginner classes are already available, our A1. And those focus on listening, speaking, and pronunciation. Whereas our English curriculum is a complete curriculum. So you'll have grammar charts, you'll have vocab charts, you'll have cultural notes, you have readings, you have writings, you have listenings, you have speakings, you have everything. But the nice thing is, even if you choose to use our content, you can always create your own activities additionally in the hub with your own materials, and you're able to manipulate and edit the activities that we have already created for you. So you're able to change instructions, you can delete questions, you can add questions, you can change something, so you can really customize it to your needs. If you like what you saw and you're interested in seeing how these activities work in the platform, please go to blog.robotel.com to read the full blog post. And there you will see the hub in action. So I have short videos in there that explain how these activities, especially the speaking activities, work in our system. You can also go to robotel.com/webinars, because we have wonderful webinars that explain exactly how do you create activities, how do you use our Let's Talk English curriculum, for example, and it shows you how that works with our hub and the teacher PDF that we give you teachers as well. If you want to try out our software, we have a 30-day trial. So go to trial.robotel.com and you can sign up to choose whether you want to do the trial with English, German, or Spanish activities that you can right away assign to your students, have them practice, have them play around with the software while you play around with it too, and see why this is such a great resource for you as language teachers. If you have any questions, any comments, please feel free to email me or leave me a comment in the blog post, and I hope you enjoyed this video.